I still remember the silence after No Way Home ended, that hollow feeling, and now this leaked trailer asks something terrifying. What happens when everyone forgets you? The grainy footage hits hard, opening with Peter Parker confessing loss, responsibility, and heartbreak, instantly telling us this story hurts more than ever. The leaked Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer, shared across forums and insider circles, confirms a grounded, brutal premise. Set to LCD Sound Systems New York, I love you but you're bringing me down. The song frames Peter's loneliness, echoing empty streets, unpaid rent, and a hero rebuilding life after erasure alone. It reportedly opens with Tom Holland's Peter saying, "You don't remember me, but we knew each other," a line that stings because we remember everything. This mirrors the No Way Home finale, where Doctor Strange's spell wiped Peter from existence, saving the universe while destroying the boy behind the mask. College rejection letters stack up on Peter's desk, overdue rent slips under his door, and the suit feels heavier than ever. This is an Avengers-level spectacle first, it's survival. Like the comics' Brand New Day era, Peter is single, broke, anonymous, and forced to rediscover responsibility when nobody thanks him ever. One shocking reveal is John Bernthal's Punisher roaring back into the MCU. The trailer shows Frank Castle in his war van, guns blazing, clashing violently with Spider-Man before unexpectedly saving him. His rough line, "Saving your ass, can't you see that?" signals moral conflict and an easy alliance forming on screen. This street-level tension recalls Daredevil alley fights rather than cosmic portals. Frank Castle doesn't inspire hope, he demands consequences. By pairing Spider-Man with Punisher, Marvel emphasizes how far Peter has fallen socially. He's no longer the neighborhood hero adored by crowds, but a masked figure surviving between criminals and vigilantes. Another quietly devastating moment shows Bruce Banner as a university professor, likely ESU or MIT, staring straight through Peter without recognition. Mark Ruffalo's calm detachment hurts because we remember Hulk fighting beside Spider-Man in Infinity War. Rumors of Grey Hulk rampaging hint that science itself is no longer safe again. Community leaks suggest Scorpion's prison escape may trigger that transformation, unleashing a more savage Hulk. This parallels Spider-Man's own instability. When mentors forget you and monsters rise, you lose anchors. The MCU seems ready to explore consequences, not jokes, making this film feel heavier, angrier, and painfully intimate for audiences. Then there's Sadie Sink, the trailer's most mysterious presence. Her cold warning, "You're a mess, Spider-Man, don't get in my way," frames her as more than a thug. Fans debate Shathra, chameleon, or menace, but her confidence suggests someone who understands Peter's weakness and intends to exploit it fully soon. Street-level villains dominate the footage, grounding the story in crime and fear. Scorpion, Tombstone, and the Hand replace multiversal gods. Tombstone's chilling dialogue about spider life cycles and rebirth feels symbolic. Peter isn't evolving by choice, he's being forced to shed skin, lose innocence, and become something harsher than before. This hints at a possible biological upgrade, echoing the comic arc The Other. Organic webbing, heightened instincts, even darker impulses feel plausible. Marvel has done this before, using power changes to reflect emotional trauma. Peter's rebirth wouldn't be triumphant, it would be painful, messy, and terrifying, matching tone of trailer. The title Brand New Day carries heavy comic history. In 2008, One More Day erased Peter's marriage through a deal with Mephisto, resetting his life. Fans hated the method but understood the theme. The MCU achieves similar devastation without demons, using Doctor Strange's spell to factory reset Peter's existence entirely. Think of No Way Home as a desperate system wipe to save corrupted files. Brand New Day is the cruel reboot, where nothing installs smoothly. Friends are missing, support systems gone, and every update hurts. This metaphor fits with the trailer's mood, showing Peter fumbling through adulthood without safety net. Zendaya's MJ and Jacob Batalon's Ned reportedly return, but the tragedy is their absence emotionally. Seeing MJ walk past Peter without recognition recalls the coffee shop scene from No Way Home, where love exists but memory doesn't. This ongoing wound defines Peter's sacrifice, turning heroism into quiet, daily suffering alone. Florence Pugh's Yelena Belova is rumored to appear, possibly recruiting or observing Peter. After Black Widow and Hawkeye, Yelena understands loss better than most. Her presence would reinforce the theme that broken people recognize each other. In a world without Avengers support, these fractured alliances may be Peter's only lifeline. Destin Daniel Cretton directing suggests emotional martial storytelling, as seen in Shanghai. Chris McKenna and Eric Summers returning ensures continuity with Homecoming and No Way Home. This creative trio excels at mixing humor with pain, but the leak suggests restraint. Jokes exist, yet silence and discomfort to dominate this chapter. Placing the release between Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars is deliberate. Peter's grounded struggle contrasts universe-ending chaos. While gods collide elsewhere, this film asks whether a forgotten kid can still matter. That contrast elevates Spider-Man's importance, reminding audiences that saving one life can be as heroic as saving realities themselves. The trailer's grainy quality ironically enhances its realism. Shaky shots of Allie's bruises and exhaustion feel unpolished, like surveillance footage of a man barely holding together. This aesthetic choice aligns with the story's rawness. Spider-Man looks tired, hurt, and human again, shedding the glossy superhero image entirely for modern audiences. There's a moment where Peter stares at his reflection, mask half off, echoing Spider-Man 2's train scene aftermath. Responsibility weighs heavier when nobody claps. These visual callbacks remind us that Spider-Man stories thrive on vulnerability, not invincibility. The leak understands this, centering pain as the true antagonist of this story. The Hand's rumored involvement introduces ancient menace meeting modern despair. Ninjas stalking New York rooftops feel right for a stripped-down Spider-Man. Unlike aliens, they bleed, hide, and stalk. Fighting them forces Peter into constant paranoia, mirroring his emotional state. Every shadow becomes a threat when you're truly alone at night. Scorpion's return feels overdue since Homecoming's post-credit tease. Michael Mando's villain represents consequences coming full circle. He knows Peter is Spider-Man, even if the world doesn't. That imbalance creates danger. A villain who remembers you while allies forget you is terrifying, and the trailer hints at that psychological torture awaiting. Tombstone's dialogue about rebirth connects to spider mythology and trauma cycles. Spiders molt to grow, leaving shells behind. Peter shedding his old life fits this imagery perfectly. The leak suggests growth isn't optional. It's survival. Either Peter adapts or breaks, and Marvel seems unafraid to show him cracking on screen completely. This approach aligns with Marvel's recent tonal shift toward consequence-driven stories. After multiverse madness, intimacy feels refreshing. Brand New Day promises fewer cameos, more scars. It trusts Spider-Man's core appeal, a hero defined by choices made in silence. That confidence may be exactly what the MCU needs right now again. Community reactions to the leak are intense, divided, emotional. Some fear another reset, others welcome grounded storytelling. That debate mirrors the comics' Brand New Day backlash. History repeats, but context changes. The MCU earned this reset narratively, making the pain feel justified rather than manipulative, and that distinction matters greatly. There's also symbolism in New York as a character again. No cosmic skylines, just cold apartments and crowded streets. The city feels indifferent, even hostile. Spider-Man has always been New York's hero, but here, the city doesn't notice him. That emotional distance reinforces Peter's invisibility after the spell fully applied. The trailer reportedly avoids flashy CGI reveals, focusing on bruised faces and close-ups. This restraint signals confidence. When Marvel slows down, it usually means character focus. Think Winter Soldier's political paranoia or Iron Man 3's PTSD themes. Brand New Day seems positioned as Spider-Man's psychological deconstruction, not a spectacle-first blockbuster. Peter's internal monologue sets the tone immediately. Sometimes Spider-Man has to do the hard part, even if it breaks Peter Parker's heart. That line defines the franchise. The mask demands sacrifice, and the boy underneath pays the price. This film appears ready to linger on that cost without flinching once. The absence of Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, and even Doctor Strange looms large. Peter stands unsupported for the first time since Civil War. This loneliness forces maturity. Without mentors or shortcuts, Peter must define heroism himself. That independence echoes classic Spider-Man comics, where growth comes from failure, not guidance alone. Leaks also mention quieter action choreography, fewer quips mid-fight. When Peter fights now, it's desperation, not showmanship. Every punch feels necessary. This realism enhances stakes, reminding viewers that Spider-Man isn't invulnerable. Bruises linger. Exhaustion accumulates. Victory costs something tangible, reinforcing the theme of survival over spectacle for this darker story. Sadie Sink's character may embody temptation or judgment, much like comic antagonists who test Peter morally. Whether Shathra or Menace, she confronts his chaos directly. Her presence suggests a villain who attacks identity, not just body. That psychological warfare elevates the conflict beyond punches, turning choices into the true battleground. The rumored Grey Hulk subplot mirrors Peter's struggle with suppressed rage. Both characters hide monsters beneath calm exteriors. When control slips, damage follows. Pairing these arcs thematically strengthens the film's message: repression is dangerous. Heroes must confront inner darkness or be consumed by it. That's heavy territory for a movie. Brand New Day also reflects real-world adulthood anxiety. Student debt, housing stress, and isolation resonate deeply. Peter isn't fighting aliens. He's fighting bills and burnout. That relatability has always fueled Spider-Man's popularity. The leak leans into this truth, positioning Peter as a mirror for struggling young audiences worldwide today everywhere. Even the suit design appears simplified, less tech-heavy, closer to cloth and wear. This visual downgrade symbolizes Peter's stripped resources. Without stark upgrades, Spider-Man relies on instinct again. That return to basics echoes the early Raimi films, where torn suits and exhaustion sold authenticity over perfection and raw emotional struggle. The lack of multiverse gimmicks is refreshing. No variants stealing focus, no nostalgia overload. This is Peter's story, uninterrupted. After No Way Home's chaos, restraint feels earned. Marvel seems to understand that escalation isn't always louder explosions. Sometimes it's quieter pain, slower healing, and personal consequences that leave deeper scars. Marketing silence from Marvel only fuels credibility of the leak. Studios often ignore real footage, letting it fade. The absence of takedowns suggests controlled damage or strategic patience. Regardless, the conversation is working. Fans are talking about themes, not just cameos, which signals genuine interest rather than hollow hype cycles. Peter Parker's anonymity redefines Spider-Man's mission. Helping people who don't know you exist tests altruism. There's no validation, no reward. This purity aligns with Stan Lee's original ethos. The leak feels like a return to that moral core, reminding us why Spider-Man endures as Marvel's most human hero ever created. The emotional through-line suggests grief processing rather than denial. Peter isn't running from loss anymore. He's living inside it. That honesty elevates the narrative. Trauma doesn't disappear with spells. It lingers. Brand New Day appears ready to sit with that discomfort, letting Peter grow slowly, painfully, and authentically over time. Visually, the trailer's muted palette reinforces despair. Blues and grays dominate, draining warmth. This color language subconsciously communicates isolation. Compare it to Homecoming's bright reds and yellows. The shift reflects Peter's emotional state, matured and scarred. Marvel uses color storytelling effectively here, even in leaked, unfinished footage seen by fans. Rumors of organic webbing tie into Rebirth imagery again. Webs become extensions of Peter, not gadgets. This biological shift suggests permanence. You can lose tech, not evolution. If true, it marks a turning point where Spider-Man's powers and psyche intertwine deeper than before, blurring the line between hero and organism. Brand New Day feels less like a sequel and more like a reintroduction. This is Spider-Man meeting himself again, without history, without safety, without applause. The leak captures that existential dread. Who are you when nobody remembers your sacrifices? The film seems determined to answer that slowly, honestly, and painfully. That question sits at the heart of Spider-Man mythology. Power demands sacrifice without guarantee. This film appears to strip away comfort to examine conviction. The leak suggests Marvel trusts audiences with complexity. Instead of easy wins, Brand New Day offers endurance, redefining heroism as persistence when hope distant recognition non-existent. As theories swirl, it's important to remember leaks evolve. Some scenes may change, others deepen, yet the core emotion seems locked. Spider-Man is alone, hurting, and still choosing to help. That consistency across reports lends credibility. Whether every detail survives, the thematic direction feels clear and intentional from Marvel Studios. Spider-Man Brand New Day isn't about reclaiming fame or fixing memories. It's about accepting loss and moving forward anyway. That maturity marks Tom Holland's Peter entering a new era. Childhood is gone. Optimism is bruised. What remains is choice. The leak frames that choice as heroic even when invisible forever. This story could redefine Spider-Man for the next decade. By grounding him, Marvel preserves longevity. Cosmic stakes exhaust, but personal stories endure. Brand New Day seems designed to sustain character depth across Avengers events. When Peter eventually rejoins larger battles, this foundation will make every victory feel earned, not automatic. The leaked trailer ends not with triumph, but quiet resolve. Peter pulls on his mask, bruised, tired, and ready. No cheers, no music swell, just duty. That closing image encapsulates the film's promise. Spider-Man doesn't need applause to be a hero. He needs courage to stand back up again alone. For FilmVerse Hollywood viewers, this leak isn't just hype, it's a signal. Marvel may be returning to character-first storytelling. That's why this matters. Spider-Man reflects us at our lowest, still trying. If Brand New Day delivers on this promise, it could become the most emotionally honest Spider-Man film yet ever. As more footage surfaces, analysis will deepen, but the emotional spine remains. Loss, responsibility, rebirth. These pillars define Spider-Man. The leak aligns with decades of storytelling, modernizing pain without erasing hope. That balance is difficult but necessary. Marvel seems willing to take that risk, trusting character over spectacle long term. Ultimately, Brand New Day asks viewers to stay with Peter through discomfort. No instant fixes, no memory restoration, just persistence. That honesty might divide audiences, but it honors the character. Spider-Man has always been about getting back up. This leak suggests he'll do so quietly, without witnesses, because it's right. If you love deep Marvel theories, grounded analysis, and honest breakdowns, this is the story to watch closely. Subscribe to FilmVerse Hollywood for detailed updates as more information drops. We'll dissect every frame, line, and implication, separating rumor from meaning and exploring how Spider-Man's new path reshapes the MCU forever. Like, share, and stay connected as Brand New Day unfolds. Your support helps us keep delivering thoughtful Marvel content without noise. This isn't just another Spider-Man movie, it's a turning point. And here on FilmVerse Hollywood, we'll be there breaking it down with you every step of Peter Parker's journey.